Hey there, folks. This is JDR from Complaint Department, live on the Complaint Department YouTube channel. I wanted to have a little conversation with you people because unless you've been living under a rock, well, I mean, if you're in New York, you've probably heard about the gentleman, I think it was yesterday, that was mauled and almost killed by two pit bulls in the Bronx. Um, Here's my thing. Uh, I am a big animal advocate. Okay, I have three cats. I love dogs. I love lions, tigers, bears. If I had a big house, I'd probably have a zoo. So, I like a lot of animals. I like animals. That's what that's about. But here's the thing. I don't like a lot of animal owners. Okay. Now, this chick that owned those two pit bulls, I don't know what happened here because there's some discrepancy in just what went down. Now, they talked to the gentleman in the hospital, and he was saying that the dogs came up to him and they were wagging their tails, so he reached his hand out, and when he reached his hand out, that's when they began to attack. Someone else was saying that there was a little argument between him and the woman, and she set the dogs loose. I don't know. I don't know why the gentleman would lie, about unless he felt he was in the wrong, you know. But regardless, I don't like these people that have like I have nothing against pit bulls. But if I'm walking down the street and somebody's coming in my direction with a pit bull, I'm walking across the street. And I'll tell you why, because people with pit bulls usually train them in the wrong way. They have pit bulls for all the wrong reasons. You know, guys will have pit bulls as a penis extension. Women will have pit bulls. Well, some will have pit bulls as protection, and others will have pit bulls because it makes them feel more powerful. A lot of people have big dogs because it makes them feel more powerful. There's a guy walking around in my neighborhood. He has a German Shepherd. He never has the German Shepherd on a leash. There's a leash law. You're supposed to have your dog on a leash. You don't know what's going to happen. You can say to yourself, well, the dog is fine with my kids and with everybody on the block and yada, 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 yada. You know what? That's sort of a territorial thing for the dog. The dog knows your kids and knows the family, knows the people on the block, whatever, But it doesn't know that stranger on the other block or that stranger that's coming up towards him. So you never know what's going to set that dog off. I don't, unless you are some fantastic type of dog trainer that really knows the ins and outs of the mentality of a dog, then stop playing guessing games. Okay? People, when you have a dog like a pit bull or a German Shepherd or a Doberman Pinscher, you have to be extra careful. And to have a dog like that for all the wrong reasons is a shame. Now, because of this person, these dogs will probably be put down. I mean, they practically mauled that gentleman to death. If you watch the video, they pull him up the street. They pulled him from, he was in the middle of the street almost, and they pulled him up almost to the sidewalk, both the dogs. And then you have people, neighbors, and even first responders, the fire department came and they had to use the water hose on the dogs, and the dogs were still attacking the fire department and anybody else that was trying to get in the way. And what's this woman doing? All of a sudden, she can't control the dogs anymore. Once they went off, she had no control anymore over these dogs. Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that something is, listen, if you can't control your dog, then you're not supposed to have that type of dog. Okay? Don't think for a second, just because that dog is happy-go-lucky at home and plays with the kids and all this stuff, that dog is not going to turn into a beast 3 seconds later. You don't know that, especially the way you train the dog. Because like I say, a lot of people train the dogs in an aggressive manner. Because there are people out there that have pit bulls and they train these pit bulls aggressively. not to become aggressive. That's just a product of how they train them. When I say they train them aggressively, they might tug them. When they're on the leash, they'll tug them. They'll smack them. They're practically mistreating the dog because they want to instill into the dog that they are the master, but they're doing it in all the wrong ways. And then when the dog all of a sudden just goes off, well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it? It's the owner's fault. Of course it's the owner's fault. So when you have something like that, what just happened here in the Bronx, it doesn't surprise me. It happens all of the time. All of the time. And I don't want to give pit bulls a bad name. Pit bulls are dogs just like any other dog. Sure, they might have a propensity to be more aggressive because that's the way they're bred. Unfortunately. Okay? But you can train a pit bull to be the nicest dog on the planet. You can train them to just be absolutely fantastic dogs. And then you can be a moron like this person here in the Bronx that didn't even have any control when those dogs. Once those dogs went off, it was like she didn't even know who those dogs were. She had no idea who those dogs were. They were like, they're not my dogs. My dogs don't act like that. My dogs are not going to bite you. They play with the kids at home all the time. Yeah, that means nothing. Nothing. And people have to understand that. And the unfortunate thing is that people do not understand that. They refuse to understand that. They think that they know better. They think that they know how their dog's going to react. They think that they know how they've trained their dog. They think that they know their dog. And then all of a sudden it happens. Then it happens. I say, if you're going to get a dog like that, you should hire a dog trainer. And you should be with that trainer, and that trainer should help you train that dog. Don't think that you know everything about a pit bull or German Shepherd or Doberman Pinscher. Don't think that you know everything. Don't think that you know how to train these dogs. You don't have the slightest damn idea. You don't have the slightest idea. So the best thing, if you're going to have a dog like that, don't have it as a penis extension. Don't have it so it makes you look big and bad, like a lot of these guys walk around, and they're hanging out with their boys, and they got the pit bull on the short leash. They got the chain, they got the choke collar, and the whole damn thing. That's unnecessary. That's unnecessary for you to be pretentious. Because let me tell you something, it's going to happen again and again and again and again. And unfortunately, it takes something like this to happen for these morons to figure it out. Anyway, JDR to Complaint Department YouTube. Don't forget the podcast on iTunes, your iOS and your Android, gnomepodomatic.com. Don't forget David Robinson at blogspot.com and Tawakwan at your-poetry.com. Thank you for watching Complaint Department, the YouTube channel. Thank you.